Hello and welcome to the Full-Time Devils Bournemouth preview. We are live right now. We are doing this across 3 different time zones. So if anything goes wrong, if somebody drops out or disappears, bear with us because we think this is quite the technical feat.
Does that mean we're time traveling?
Maybe. John, what's the time where you are?
7 o'clock here.
In the morning or the evening?
Morning.
In the morning. No, because it's...
Oh, that means in the past.
What day?
We're still on Thursday.
You're in the past.
Yeah, we're in the... This is weird. Right, anyway, let's get on with it. Guys, we've got a comment section. Get in the comment section. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you think of the points. If the boys say something you disagree with, then make sure it's known. We have comments. We're on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. And these are the comments. So I can see them and we will talk them through as they come. So we're going to start off with this. Manchester United are playing Bournemouth. And if we win, we might not... Well, we won't be in 6th. Can you imagine not being in 6th? It's been since September that we weren't in the heady heights of 6th for any kind of long period of time. Adam, how exciting is it? How important is it to get out of 6th? And also, where realistically can we finish this season?
You know those predictor things that they have on like BBC and stuff?
Oh,
there
yeah,
are
I've seen
other
them.
predictor websites available. I was doing that and I was being realistic with myself, yeah. And United came out like 2nd. And then I did it again, and I took a few points off United. I thought, okay, maybe I wasn't being as realistic, and then we came 3rd. So I think we're going to finish 4th, because I'm always wrong with those things. But I am seriously confident we will finish in the top 4. But that means that we cannot screw up at home anymore, starting with Bournemouth. I think we've had plenty of opportunities which have been like this. And I think we need to really kick on now in the Premier League. And yes, the gap has closed an awful lot. All those 6 jokes and stuff have kind of been redundant because the gap has been closing, even though we have stayed in 6th and it's been really funny. But I think it's about to change. If we win a few games, we're going to get into the top 4. That's definite. So we just need to do that now. But at the same time, if we fail to win a few games, the season's going to end so quickly because in a few games' time, it's going to be like 8 games left, and then it's going to be like, oh my God, what's going on? So we need to start doing it fast is the answer. But we can. I think we will. I think we will finish top 4. Bournemouth aren't an easy opposition though, and whilst they have fallen towards the relegation zone and stuff like that, they can score goals and they can hit you on the counter attack. So it's a wary one.
Okay, Ben, let me ask you this. How important is it that we finish in the top 4? If we win the Europa League, that's not a guarantee, but you know we should be massive favourites in that competition. We get into the Champions League anyway. Do you think we will get into the top 4? Do you think it matters?
I think it. I don't know. If we win the Europa League, it doesn't really matter, does it? But I suppose for pride, it does. I would personally say I can't see Liverpool and Arsenal finishing above us this season. I just can't see it. I was watching Liverpool play the other night, and I was just like, these are challenging us for a position, and like they're not going to get anywhere near us. I think the running's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult, especially the next 3 weeks. They're going to be tough, but we're going to have loads of games in hand. If we can carry on these cup runs, we're going to have loads of games in hand, and I think they might end up benefiting us in one way or another. The running for the other clubs, I think it was it Howson who tweeted the running the other day. They've got tough times of it, especially Liverpool as well. So it's in our hands. I believe it's in our hands. We've got a quality there for it to be in our hands. And I think with Jose, what we have got is we've got a winner. And I think we'll get top 4 and then we'll do an Arsenal and have an open bus parade.
Right. Okay. John, where do you see us finishing this season?
I think realistically, Manchester United have the squad depth to be able to finish probably 3rd. It's going to be between 3rd or 4th. But, you know, with one hand in basically finishing with a title victory, a cup victory, I think we can sort of bounce off from here and sort of push on because prior to the EFL Cup final, yes, we were having these undefeated run of games and things like that, but nevertheless, the fact of the matter is we weren't getting enough points. But I think we were just missing that just a bit in order to sort of push on. I think we're going to be able to take this forward and really get on a good run of games, hopefully. And like Adam mentioned, we can't afford to drop any more points. That's definitely a given. I think we can finish 3rd. I'm going to be optimistic here.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to have a look, see what you guys are saying at home. So,
someone said we can still win the league yet in the comments.
No, I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing a lot of people having a go at a guy called Swaraj because, and I don't think they should. I think you should be nice
Come
to
on,
Swaraj.
Swaraj.
The thing is, Swaraj's life is so empty. He's got nothing to do but come on YouTube and try and troll by writing small club, and people are being mean to Swaraj. Be nice to Swaraj.
Does
He's
he support
presumably,
someone like
maybe he's got no friends. He's got nothing to do. He's just sad. So be nice to Swaraj. So definitely top 4. Big teams still face each other, and one is guaranteed to drop points, says Imran. So we're thinking that, are we? They've all got to drop points. It's kind of like what you said, Ben. You said about their run-ins.
And
Run-ins.
Okay, now everyone's coming in with we can still win the league. So Thomas says we can still win the league, and Rafi says we can still win the league. JR Ladd says we can still win the league. Richie reckons second. Do you think second would be a successful end to the season? Not in terms of, well, hey, we came second, but in terms of where we've been. We've been in 6th for a lot of the season, and perhaps shows a greater statement of intent than finishing 4th.
Yeah, second would be wicked. Let's not kid ourselves. Second would be a massive, not a massive achievement, but second, bearing in mind how people were writing us off during the season, second would be brilliant. And with someone around our forms, and can I quickly just say, shout out to people who are saying, "Where's Daddy? Where's that man, Daddy?" That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm. So we will beat Chelsea and get closer to first. Do we think that's going to happen?
No, I think the league's over now, man. Come on, guys. I think Man City are still in with a shout at the league, because if they do get a run going, Chelsea have got to come to Old Trafford, and if they win their game in hand, City are only 8 points behind them. So realistically, I think City have a chance, but we've got those away games with Tottenham, Arsenal, and Man City coming up. And what I'm glad is they come at the end of the season, so hopefully we can accumulate enough points that we kind of cement our place in the top 4 before them. But they're also a massive opportunity to actually jump above these teams, because when we go to their grounds, they're going to be the teams under pressure. When we go to Arsenal, we know Wenger and Arsenal are going to be under pressure. When we go to Spurs, we know they're going to probably start having that feeling that they're maybe going to finish outside of the top 4 and they're going to get all nervous. And when we go to Man City, we know at home they have to come out and play against us. So I think while some of these fixtures can fall into our favour, it'd be nice to kind of get comfortably into that top 4
do it ourselves.
Those fixtures come around. Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
right, I'm going to move this on. John,
okay,
I'm moving it on. It's okay. Right, we're going to talk now about who have been Manchester United's top performers this season. We're approaching the end of the year, and it's possible that David De Gea won't pick up his 4th Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year award, especially as, Ben, I saw you tweeting after during the cup final that you didn't think he was doing very well in goal. Is there anybody other than Zlatan, Ander Herrera, Tony V, Juan Mata has been incredible when he's played. Adam, Player of the Year contenders, what do you think?
Go on, let John go.
That's a good idea. John, you can come in first. Player of the Year.
I mean, you have to say Zlatan. I mean, nobody can complain of his goal-scoring record. But I think there's a bigger underlying message here in that Manchester United are currently sort of relying only on Zlatan for these goals, and I think that's sort of a hidden message that we should be sort of addressing, because in the sense that as much as it's great to see Zlatan scoring goals, scoring bangers left, right, and center, you can't only solely just rely on one single man to sort of be the outlet and be the distributor for these goals, because maybe what if we're going against a top team who sort of try to lock down Zlatan, who try to inhibit Zlatan's style of play and things of that nature. And but I also have to think that I think Manchester United's team is sort of built around for this sole purpose. Jose Mourinho always speaks about specialists and specific players specializing in certain roles, and obviously Zlatan Ibrahimovic's role only scoring goals. And it's not like he has the greatest of work rates, and I'm not trying to slag off his lack of movement, but the fact that Zlatan Ibrahimovic is able to probably be I'm not sure of the exact statistics, but I'm sure he's one of the players with the most minutes in the squad currently. He's been on that pitch almost for the majority of the season. So the fact that we're sort of relying on him, yet he seems to be the primary source on an intentional level, I think is good, but it also is a bit worrying at times. But nevertheless, I think, not to go off on a tangent, I think Zlatan is the contender for the Player of the Year so far.
See, okay. I don't think Zlatan Ibrahim, I don't think we are reliant. I think Zlatan has scored most of our goals. That's obvious. But I don't think we are over reliant on Zlatan. like when we've had Ronaldo in the past or Van Nistelrooy in the past who have scored 30, 40 goals a season for us. When they have left, we have always replaced them. And I think because, obviously, if Zlatan didn't play every game this season, you rightly said I think he's played the most minutes out of anyone in this team, then Rashford or Marshall or someone else would have played and they would have had chances to score goals. So I don't think it's been a case of, we've needed Zlatan to continuously only perform, because he hasn't been the only player that's performed. There's been times when he hasn't performed.
He did go 2 months last year, didn't he? Went 2 months last year without scoring a league goal.
But some would say that kind of proves that we are reliant on him, because our results probably dipped around that time as well. So I don't know, but I think there's always a case of when a player goes, you replace them because someone else takes their place, someone else takes the opportunities that would have been created for them. I think what we'll miss from Zlatan more is his leadership and his arrogance and his confidence that he brings to the team, his assurance. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic will be Player of the Year, and probably rightly so. But Antonio Valencia deserves a massive shout out. He's won it before in the past as well. He's a big shout for Player of the Year, as is Ander Herrera. But
both names endlessly coming up in the comments. Ander Herrera and Anthony Valencia. Get them in, guys.
Yeah.
Have they been more consistent, perhaps, than Zlatan?
No.
Well, answer that.
I just want to interject here. I think Adam, you mentioned the point about the Ruud van Nistelrooy. I think it was like 03-04 season when he came out, scored like 30, 40 goals. It was insane. But that was when Rooney was on the side blossoming, Ronaldo was on the side sort of getting up to his peak. But the fact of the matter was that Ruud van Nistelrooy scored those goals, and he was sort of like the main man. And yeah, goals is what's going to become the main source of your wins and things of that nature. But perhaps if I'm to pick somebody else besides Zlatan, it definitely would have to be a close second to Herrera. He's been fantastic for us. Somebody in the comments wrote unsung hero, and I think that's perfect in terms of describing Herrera's situation.
Ben, I've also seen a Fellaini. Can you? Who do you think are the main contenders?
I think the thing with Zlatan and the amount of goals he's scoring, the performances he's putting in, I think because we've had 3 seasons where we haven't had, obviously Van Persie and Fergie's last season, we haven't had a prolific striker. Now we've got a prolific striker. We've all forgotten that that's what a striker's meant to do, is score goals. I mean, you say Ruud van Nistelrooy, you say Van Persie, Rooney when he was in his prime. When these guys play up front, this is what they're meant to do, score you over 30 goals a season. And that's Zlatan's doing his job. Herrera is on the money for me. I think Herrera's, he never leaves. And he gives everything on the pitch, everything. He's led the team. He's a bit of you would hate to play against him. He nibbles you. He gets a yellow card when he needs to get one. He's an intelligent player. He's a good passer of the ball. For me, it would be, at this stage, it's Ander Herrera for me, personally. Not Fellaini. Sorry.
Not Fellaini. Controversial.
You know
all right, let's have a look.
People that get onto, it's gone from Herrera being underrated to being cool to criticise Herrera on social media. Some people need to fix up, man. Herrera is our little bastard.
Okay, guys, Anupam and Shubham both say Mata. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
It's a shout because Mata is probably our most consistent performer in terms of big game, little game, popping up with goals, assists, continuously performing. He's improved in his defensive side of things. He works hard every time. Plays number 10, plays right mid. You could argue that he has been as good as Valencia and Herrera, but has he been as...
I'll tell you something. You might find this... I saw a thing the other day about him and his performances this season, and on I can't remember whose rating system it is, but on a rating system, he is the most consistent player at Manchester United this season for performances and average rating. He sits above everybody else.
He's a Don, that's why.
That's a thing. So maybe. A few people saying Pogba. John, any thoughts on Paul Pogba as player of the season?
I'm not too sure because Paul Pogba has been an integral part of this squad so far this season. Don't get me wrong on that. There's a lot of people who are on Twitter, easy to get on the keyboard, just start smashing buttons saying Pogba's whack, 89 million my ass, all that jazz. But at the end of the day, Paul Pogba has been an integral part of the squad. He's sort of been the one doing the dirty work behind the scenes. You wouldn't expect that for somebody like Paul Pogba, who's got the flash, who's got the swag. You wouldn't expect somebody like Paul Pogba's caliber and his characteristic to be doing the dirty work. But I think Paul Pogba has been very integral to the squad. With that being said, I don't see him being a contender for the player this season. As much as he has been doing the dirty work, I think we can sort of see Herrera and Zlatan being the bigger names on the contention list rather than somebody like Paul Pogba.
Nobody said his name, but a couple of months ago, Mkhitaryan maybe. Roshan Shankar thinks so. Well, that's the problem, isn't it, for a whole season? Okay, right, shall we move on? In a moment, I want you all to predict who you think will play in the Manchester United-Bournemouth game, the Manchester United 11. You get a point for each correct answer. So far, nobody has hit all 11. But before we do that...
so close.
I know you were, John. It's okay. The good news about the season is there's a lot of games left. There's a lot of opportunity. But before we do that, I think we have a tiny little break.
John, are you top of the league, mate?
Yes, sir.
John is top of the league. Right, so here we go. John is going to go first, I guess. John, do you want to go first? Have an opportunity.
Sure.
I think you got 4. I'm going to confirm. I've got this iPad. I can confirm what the point system is between the three of you right now. Oh, no, it's got
You ain't nothing without that iPad, Sam.
I've always said that. So I know that John, I think, has got 47. Adam, I think, is 42. And Ben is 8. I think. Hang on. It's been unlocked. So Ben is 8. John, 48. Adam, 45. That's more or less what I said. So there's only 3 in it between the two of you. Ben, you will need to get about 40.
Sam's on 46 and Dave's on 47.
I'll give my points to John.
John says John's on 48 on mine. That's what we're going with. Okay, John, you're starting 11 to face Bournemouth.
All right, I'm going to go David De Gea in goal.
Oh, you got that one wrong there, Dave.
I got David De Gea in goal. We got Marcus Rojo, Eric Bailly, Chris Smalling, and Tony Valencia straight down the back line. I think midfield, we're going to go Pogba and Herrera with Mkhitaryan sitting at the 10. That's probably my wild card here. I was going for probably Mata central and Rashford right, but I think we're going to have Mkhitaryan coming here just because we have our stuff coming up. And I think if we want Mkhitaryan to... What's going on? Why are you clapping?
Because I'm just buzzing, mate.
Okay, well, this is going to be my risk. I'm going to take the risk here. I think Mkhitaryan's going to start. He's going to need some game time. I think Jose Mourinho, he was almost ready for the Southampton Cup game. I think he's going to be ready. We've had a full week. So Mkhitaryan is going to start. Mata on the right, Martial on the left, with Zlatan Ibrahimovic up top.
Okay, so strong team. Ben, what's yours?
David in goal. I'm going Valencia, Smalling, Bay, and Blin in defence.
Oh, a change.
Herrera, yeah, I never fancied very high. To be honest, yeah, throw him in there for the cup game, but I think Blin has been solid when he's played there, so I'm going to go with David. I'm going to go Carrick. I'm going to go Herrera, Pogba, and then I'm going to go for Mata, Mkhitaryan, Martial, Ibra. Okay,
right, Adam. If you get 3 better than John, you can go joint top.
No, I'm going top, mate.
Let's hear it.
Listen, you know why? He's got the left back wrong.
Ooh.
Carrick will start, and Mkhitaryan's not starting, guaranteed. Right, the team is
nervously itching there, Adam. Nervously itching.
Oh no, I'm just stroking my beard, feeling like a genius.
Well, let's hear the team.
The team is David De Gea, Valencia, Smalling, Bailly, Blind. I agree with Ben there. Carrick. We're not going to play a 2 in midfield against Bournemouth, are we? Come on. If we do, I think that's incredibly naive. So we go with Carrick, Herrera, Pogba, Mata, Martial, Zlatan.
Sorry.
What are you waiting for?
I thought you were going to explain a bit more. I thought you'd be like, and this is why I'm making this decision.
Yeah, Mkhitaryan, I don't think will play. He's been injured. His injury didn't look like one where he'll just come straight back into the team, especially starting. He might be on the bench. So I don't think Mkhitaryan will start. Rashford could be one that makes me lose my points, but I don't think John picked Marcus Rashford. So I think Matt will start.
Oh, I've just lost Adam's sound. I don't know if everybody else has. I certainly have. Adam?
Can you hear me?
Yay! There you go.
Yeah, so Mata came off at half-time against Southampton. The only reason I think that was because Lingard had a goal. You can't take off a goal scorer at half-time. So I think Mata having come off at half-time, he's bound to start. So yeah, I think a lot of these things are going in my favour. I think I've got a full set of points, and I think I'm going to the top of the league. So
okay, well, nobody, as I said, has yet predicted 11 players correctly. So if you think you can do it, get in the comments and let us know. People here saying Daley Blind has been most consistent player for the last 2 seasons. That's from Anupam. Does anybody think that's right or wrong? Over the last 2 seasons? Yeah, probably. Great team, Adam McCullough from Ian.
Cheers, Ian.
Ian, he's not worth it. Anybody else wonder about their team? Can someone tell Adam his scarf is wonky? That doesn't help anybody. For the most part, no one's making many guesses. Shaw, best left back in England. No Shaw. What's going on with Luke Shaw?
Yeah, if he goes to Spurs, that's an absolute joke.
Well, he would
fit in at Spurs. He would be excellent at Spurs. If United sold potentially the best left back in the league to Spurs, we would need a couple slaps.
Well, we've discussed this, haven't we? And our thought is perhaps that Luke Shaw is currently going through the Jose Mourinho, Emerick Mkhitaryan model. And
it's happening too long.
Taking him out of the team. Well, Mkhitaryan didn't really play until November.
Yeah.
So he's happy to take that gamble, I think, if he thinks there's going to be an improvement in it for him. So
you know what? I think we might see him in the Europa League. I think we might not see him until next season. I think
he's failed. I think he's failed a test.
Really?
It worries me. Yeah, I just really worried. Man.
What kind of
Do
test?
you think he just put those away? Because I've seen no pictures of him either recently. I've seen nothing of him.
I just seen a picture of him with Stormzy looking depressed. He really does look really sad and down in the picture.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like Jose Mourinho has come out and he's publicly said he's not in any of my starting list. Like if you're looking down the pecking order, he said he's below. And the reason why
said that about Memphis and Schneiderlin.
He did, but then at the same time, he's come out in public. People have to realize he's also come out publicly and slated Mkhitaryan. He's come out and said stuff about. He's come out and said stuff about Martial as well. So there's still hope. But I agree with Adam in the sense that it is a bit worrying in the sense that if he's not being picked over the likes of a terrible Marcus Rojo.
Yeah, he's awful.
A liability in defense, like on the left-hand side in Matteo Darmian. Daley Blind, who I think is personally probably the most consistent left back out of all of them, and is not getting any game time. Like that's just sort of worrying, but at the same time, I really hope he doesn't leave.
It's all a bit weird, isn't it? Right, let's talk about Bournemouth. Ben, what can you tell me about Bournemouth?
Yeah, so Luke Shaw, stay.
We love Luke Shaw. Stay. Yeah. They don't do this on some sort of Spurs channel, some sort of Spursness, Luke. You wouldn't like it. They wouldn't do it. They'd be awful. Right, Ben, talk about Bournemouth.
They've been all right. Is Jack Wilshere fit? Do we know anything about who might be in their squad or not? I don't know. All I do know is they've always gone.
Some solid insight.
I don't know if Bournemouth are a weird one. They're always a difficult game. You never know what to expect from them. You never know if they're going to come at us and go for the win or if they're going to set up for the draw. If we were playing them at Bournemouth, I think it would be a much harder game than it is because at Bournemouth, even though was it 3-1 at the start of the season?
Yeah.
Teams always struggle there. And we beat them quite comfortably in the end. So, I don't know. It's going to be a weird one. I think we'll win. I don't think they'll put up much of a fight in the end. I think there's more important games for Bournemouth coming up, but they're going to be, mid-table this season? Depends on starts. They've got a lot of pace, though, so we need to watch out for that.
Okay. Adam, your thoughts on Bournemouth, the players we need to watch out for, the things they might do that could cause us problems?
I think Josh King causes problems, can cause us problems. Benik Afobe, I think was he at MK Dons and absolutely slapped us. I think he can cause us problems. Harry Arter in the midfield. Like I said, I think we need to go with a free in midfield against these guys. I think if we played the way we played on Saturday, the way we started the game, I think we'd get overrun in a similar way to the way Southampton played against us because they've got a lot of energy. They're going to keep pressing your team and they're going to have a lot of players in the midfield. So we need to counter that. But at the same time, I think defensively they are shocking. Whilst they have goals in them and they can hit us on the counter-attack, I think defensively we will score goals. I think Zlatan will come off the pitch disappointed if he doesn't score because he's bound to get chances. So I think we will score. We've got to keep him out at the other end. We defended horribly against Southampton, and I think Rojo got a lot of blame for it. And whilst I thought Dave made a great point on the vlog, when Rojo went out left, he seemed to get really shaky, and then when he come in close to the centre half, he seemed to look a lot better. But I think Rojo was covering a lot for Smalling and Bailly on the weekend, and I thought he played okay. He was one of the better ones of the defence. But yeah, I wouldn't like to see him at left back this game.
Okay, right. I've just done some research and found out that Bournemouth's last 8 games have resulted in 3 draws and 5 losses. And when I say research, I mean that Aaron M wrote it in the comments. So now we know that they're doing very badly. A lot of people are very confident that this will be a very solid win. Some people less confident. John, how do you feel about Bournemouth? What do you know about Bournemouth? What are the concerns?
Well, here's what I'm saying. Is all these guys in the comments are saying that the Bournemouth is going to be an easy win because Bournemouth have yet to register a league win in 2017. They've lost 6 of their last away games.
Nice stats, John.
And, you know, this is credit. This is shout out to my boy Statman Dave right there. But anyways, with that being said, there's always that slightest possibility that Bournemouth is going to come and their keeper is going to have a worldie. It's just been one of those weird seasons. But I think Manchester United do have the quality. And I want to touch up on Adam's comments about the 3-man midfield. I think he's 100% correct here. I think we need to go with the 3-man midfield. The reason why I picked a 2-man defensive midfield was because we're predicting if Jose Mourinho, what he's going to start. And I think Jose Mourinho is going to opt for that rather than the 3-man midfield. So I don't see us having that much of a trouble. I mean, considering the fact that Bournemouth have not been doing so well so far since the start of 2017. We just need to make sure we keep it tight, we keep it clean. We can register a quick goal early on and hold on there. I think.
Okay, I'd have one last quick look in the comments. And what I know about Bournemouth is their keeper is hard to beat like every other. That's what Chris says. Do we imagine he's going to come and have a worldie at Old Trafford like everybody else does?
Probably. Probably.
There's also some discussions coming from them about Timothy Fosu-Mensah. Should he be playing against Bournemouth?
We can all talk about how Timothy Fosu-Mensah should be playing, but he's not going to play, so let's not, because he's just going to get emotional, isn't he?
Guys, in other news, Paul Lucas says Cook is the weak link, so now we know that. Okay, Adam, it's prediction time. What do you think the score will be?
Hey, that's Star Wars guy.
Pardon?
Paul Lucas.
George, you're thinking of? It's not similar.
Gaz will hate me right now.
Yeah,
he's going to kill you for that one.
He's going to delete his Star Wars account, isn't he?
He'll unfriend you from Bebo. Right, go on. What do you think the score's going to be?
3-1 United.
Oh, still think we're going to concede. That's a shame. Ben?
I don't know. I've just been looking at their top goal scorers, and their top goal scorer's got 5 goals this season. I don't reckon they're going to score. I'm going to say 4-0 United.
4-0.
I think it'd be comfortable.
Very confident.
Yeah.
And Mr.
I thought you were going to say, I don't think they're going to score. I'm going to say 3-1.
Guess what? So did I. John?
I'm going 2-0 to United.
Okay, 2-0 to United. All very confident predictions. We've got 6-1 from Gold, 4-1 Anmesh, King Cantona 5-0, Anpam 3-2, 2-0 from Artley, 3-0 from Football Red Devils, 4-1 from Moore. There's a lot of predictions out there. None of us really know what's going to happen. I'll say 3-0. I feel confident. I said 3-0 before the cup final. That was 3-2. We got it right. We got the win, though. So maybe if I continue to get things very wrong, we'll win. Is that a thing? I don't think so. Anyway, let us know what you think. Get it in the comments below. Make sure you put your team in there. See if you can accurately predict all 11 players, because none of the people on the camera in front of you have been able to do that yet. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe to Full Time Devils and enjoy the match.